Hello students, welcome to today's one-shot video on Class 10 History, Chapter 1, Partition of Bengal, 1905 to 1911 and Swadeshi Movement. In this video, we'll cover all the key events, causes, consequences and important personalities in a simple and clear way to help you prepare better for your exams. The key points to be discussed in this chapter are as follows. The background of Partition of Bengal, Partition of Bengal, Swadeshi Movement, consequences of Swadeshi Movement, national literature, national education, the contribution of women in Swadeshi Movement, rise of national industry, establishment of Muslim League, Swadeshi Movement and Indian National Congress, anti-movement activities of the government, the contribution of Swadeshi Movement. Let's start with a timeline of the important events. 1899. Lord Curzon becomes the Viceroy of India. He begins administrative reforms, but his real aim is to weaken the rising nationalist movement. 1903. The proposal for the partition of Bengal is made public. It is presented as an administrative step, but nationalists see it as a divide and rule policy to break Hindu-Muslim unity. 16th October 1905. The partition of Bengal officially comes into effect. Bengal is divided into two parts, East Bengal and Assam with a Muslim majority and West Bengal with a Hindu majority population. 1905 to 1908, the Swadeshi movement gains momentum. People begin boycotting British goods. Indigenous industries, Swadeshi education and homemade products are widely promoted. There are public protests, bonfires of foreign cloth, and picketing of British shops. The movement spreads from Bengal to other parts of India like Punjab, Bombay and Madras. Let's continue with some more key events from the timeline. 1906, formation of the All India Muslim League. This political party was formed with British encouragement and is widely seen as a result of communal politics aimed at dividing Indian society. 1907, split in the Indian National Congress at the Surat session. The Congress divided into two groups, the moderates and the extremists, led by Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai, famously known as Lal Bal Pal. 1911, annulment of the Partition of Bengal. To calm rising nationalist anger, the British government cancelled the partition. In the same year, the capital of British India was shifted from Calcutta to Delhi. Your textbook includes some key information highlighted in special boxes. These will help you understand the context of the chapter more clearly. So let's take a look at them. According to the Allahabad Treaty, 1765 AD, between the Mughal Emperor Shah Alam and Robert Clive, the East India Company won political authority on Bihar and Orissa along with Bengal, and these three regions were included in the province of Bengal. The British colonialism was established all over India starting from the second tenure of Robert Clive, 1765, to the rule of Lord Dalhousie, 1848 to 1856, and Calcutta, Mumbai and Madras became the three main administrative centers of East India Company. The highest administrator of each center was given the post of president, and the administrative system was popularly known as presidency under the president. The famine broke out in Orissa, a part of Bengal, in 1866 AD, and around 1,000 people lost their lives. Viceroy Lord Northbrook, 1872 to 76 AD, by showing his administrative caliber, put the proposal of the partition of Bengal before the government of England. The following regions went under the British Empire in India. The valley of Brahmaputra, through the Treaty of Yandabu on 24th February 1826. Cachar in 1832. Kasi Hills in 1833. Jaintia Hills in 1835. The province of Motok and Sadia in 1839. The province of Kamti in 1843, the province of Singphu in 1843, the area of Angaminaga Hills in 1854. These regions were controlled by the Lieutenant Governor of Bengal up to 1874. Then the area of Bengal was 2,53,000 square miles and total population was 4,60 lakhs. With a view to expanding tea business, through sea routes also, the European tea planters put proposals to expand the boundary of Assam up to Chattogram. Keeping this view in mind, Chief Commissioner William E. Ward, 1894 to 96 AD, in his second tenure, put proposals to annex Chattogram, two districts of Dhaka and Mymensingh, to Assam. But this proposal would not be implemented due to chaotic political milieu of that period. The area of three territories, Dhaka, Chattogram, and Rajshahi, was about 106,540 square miles, and total population was 31 million, out of which 18 millions were Muslims and 12 millions were Hindus. Background of the Partition of Bengal. To understand the Partition of Bengal, let's first look at its historical background. In 1773, the British government introduced the Regulating Act and upgraded the post of the Governor of Bengal Presidency to that of a Governor-General. Later, on 7th of February 1874, the state of Assam was created by including 6 districts from the Brahmaputra Valley: Golpara, Kamrup, Nagaon, Darang, Lakhimpur, and Sivasagar, along with Kasi Jayantia Hills, Naga Pahar, Garo Pahar, Kachar, and Srihatta. This new state covered an area of 54,100 square miles with a population of over 41 lakh. A new administrative post of Chief Commissioner was created, and Colonel R. H. Keatings was given charge from 1874 to 1878. According to some historians, this move marked the first step towards the partition of Bengal. During the process, 2 British officers supported Lord Curzon: Andrew Fraser, then Chief Commissioner of Madhya Pradesh, and J. Bamfield Fuller, Chief Commissioner of Assam. In 1901, Fraser proposed to Lord Curzon that the geographical boundaries of Madhya Pradesh and Bengal be changed, laying the groundwork for what would soon become the Partition of Bengal. Reasons for the Partition of Bengal. Now, let's understand the main reasons behind the Partition of Bengal in 1905, reaction to the Sepoy Mutiny. After the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, the British began reforming Indian administration, and the Partition of Bengal was included as part of this process. In fact, it is considered the second most important political upheaval in India after the revolt of 1857. To suppress rising national sentiments. By the late 19th and early 20th centuries, the national movement had gained strong momentum in Bengal. To weaken this rising consciousness, Lord Curzon created a new province called Eastern Bengal and Assam by merging East Bengal with Assam. The remaining western part of Bengal, along with Bihar and Orissa, continued as West Bengal. This was seen as a clear attempt to divide and weaken the nationalist spirit. Population pressure and tea business expansion. At that time, Bengal had a population of 7.8 crore, which raised administrative challenges. Andrew Fraser, the Chief Commissioner of Madhya Pradesh, suggested that Orissa and Sambalpur be separated from Bengal and merged with Madhya Pradesh. Meanwhile, J. Bamfield Fuller, the Chief Commissioner of Assam, proposed annexing Chattogram to Assam to boost the tea trade. Lord Curzon considered both suggestions practical and useful and showed willingness to implement them, thus paving the way for Bengal's partition. Political motives. Behind the partition of Bengal, difficulty in managing a vast province. The British argued that Bengal was too large to be governed effectively under a single lieutenant governor. They claimed that the partition was needed for administrative efficiency. To destroy Hindu-Muslim unity. The growing unity between Hindu and Muslim farmers and workers posed a threat to British rule. The partition was designed to break this unity and create religious divisions among the people. To weaken nationalism and encourage communal loyalty. Lord Curzon wanted to strengthen British rule by weakening the politically conscious Hindu Bengalis, who were leading the nationalist movement. At the same time, he hoped to gain the loyalty of politically less active Muslims, thereby sowing the seeds of communalism in Indian society. This move was also seen as a tactic to suppress the growing influence of anti-British extremists. Partition of Bengal. Let's now understand how the Partition of Bengal was officially proposed and implemented by the British. The proposal. On 1st June 1903, Viceroy Lord Curzon prepared a detailed proposal for the Partition of Bengal after discussions with Herbert Risley, the Secretary of State, Government of India. It was officially accepted by the British government and was recognized as the Minute on Territorial Redistribution in India. Since this proposal was officially declared by Herbert Risley on the 6th of December 1903, it came to be known as the Risley Papers. The process of bifurcating Bengal and annexing one part of it to Assam is historically referred to as the historic Partition of Bengal. Dhaka and Calcutta were the proposed capitals of East Bengal and West Bengal respectively. On 2nd February 1905, Lord Curzon sent the proposal to the Secretary of State for India, John Brodrick, who approved it on 9th June. On 19th July 1905, the official order was published, and later, on 1st September, it was formally declared that the partition would be implemented on 16th October 1905. Lord Curzon also announced a 4-point program on 1st September, detailing how the partition would take place. Here's what it included. Checkmark first point phase. The name of the new province would be Eastern Bengal and Assam, formed by annexing Rajshahi Dhaka and Chattogram to Assam. B. The capital of this new province would be Dhaka. C. The province would be governed by a lieutenant governor. D. The capital of Assam would be shifted from Shillong to Dhaka. Second point phase. A separate high court would be established in Dhaka for Eastern Bengal and Assam. Until then, the new province would remain under the jurisdiction of the Calcutta High Court. Third point phase. Calcutta would continue to be the capital of the newly restructured Bengal province, which would include West Bengal, Bihar, Orissa, and Chota Nagpur. Fourth point phase. The Partition of Bengal was scheduled to be implemented on the 16th of October, 1905. This declaration marked a major administrative shift and sparked massive political and public reactions, setting the stage for the Swadeshi Movement. Swadeshi Movement 1905 to 1911. The Swadeshi Movement was a powerful response to the Partition of Bengal, encouraging Indians to boycott British goods and promote indigenous industries, education, and self-reliance. Let's now look at the key leaders of the movement, especially from Bengal, where it all began. Prominent leaders from Bengal included Surendranath Banerjee, Bipin Chandra Pal, Aurobindo Ghosh, Rabindranath Tagore, Rasbihari Bose, Ramendra Sundar Trivedi, Abdul Rasul, Halim Ghaznavi, Liaquat Hussain, Muhammad Ismail Chowdhury, etc. These leaders organized protests, spread awareness, and encouraged people to support Swadeshi goods and education. Also, here's a picture of the iconic nationalist trio: Lala Lajpat Rai, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, and Bipin Chandra Pal, popularly known as Lal Bal Pal, who played a key role in shaping the movement at the national level. What happened after the Partition of Bengal? The Partition of Bengal sparked strong public outrage and became the turning point for a new phase of the freedom movement. Anti-partition propaganda began to spread across Bengal through public meetings, speeches, and writings. A signature collection campaign was launched, and a petition signed by 70,000 Indians was submitted to the Secretary of State for India. Despite this, the British government stood firm, supporting Andrew Fraser's partition plan. As the government's intentions became clear, anti-British sentiment grew stronger among the masses. The partition also threatened Hindu-Muslim unity and deeply wounded Bengali nationalism. People were already dissatisfied with Lord Curzon's interference in Indian education, press freedom, and local self-government. His divisive policies only worsened public anger. This widespread protest gave rise to what became known as the Swadeshi Movement, where Indians boycotted foreign goods and started promoting and using homemade products to express national solidarity. A few important events of the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. Let's take a look at some of the key happenings that defined the Swadeshi movement in Bengal. A great sensation was created among the people by the article Bangar Sarbanash, published in the journal Sanjibani on the 6th of July 1904. The editor was Krishna Kumar Mitra. The first protest meeting against the proposed partition of Bengal was held at Khulna, Bagarbari, on 14th July 1905. The second protest meeting was held at Dinaspur on 20th July 1905, just a day after the official declaration of partition. This meeting was presided over by the Maharaja of Dinaspur, and a proposal was passed to boycott British goods. Students' participation. Students from Ripon College played an active role in the movement. A student union was formed under the leadership of Surendranath Banerjee to organize youth participation. On 7th August 1905, a huge public meeting was held at the town hall of Kasimbazar, Calcutta, presided over by Maharaja Manindra Chandra Nandi. Representatives from different regions unanimously decided to boycott British goods. At this meeting, Rabindranath Tagore delivered an inspiring speech urging the people to maintain social harmony. On 23rd September 1905, a big protest rally was held at Rajabazar, North Calcutta. It was presided over by Abdul Rasul and other prominent Muslim leaders. A historic foot march took place on that day, where people from different religions, castes, and communities participated in unity. On the day of the implementation of the Partition of Bengal, that is 16th October 1905, the people of Bengal observed a national mourning day. As per the proposal of Ramendra Sundar Trivedi, every household in Bengal avoided cooking on that day as a sign of protest. At the call of Rabindranath Tagore, the people of Calcutta observed Rakhi Bandhan to promote Hindu-Muslim unity and fraternity. People sang his famous Rakhi song, Bangalir Pran, Bangalir Mon, Ek Hoke He Bhagaban. On the same day, a strike or hartal was held in the afternoon across entire Calcutta. All shops, business establishments, educational institutions, buses, and trams remained completely closed. People also started boycotting British administration, government educational institutions, courts, and foreign goods. Local products were preferred and promoted. Many also began refusing to pay taxes or government loans, considering the British government as a foreign ruler with no rightful authority. Spread of Swadeshi movement beyond Bengal. The people of Maharashtra, South India, Northeast India supported this movement, and it turned into an all-Indian movement. Under the leadership of Surendranath Banerjee, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, Anunda Mohan Bose, Lala Lajpat, Dadabhai Naoroji, etc. This movement crossed the corridor of Bengal and spread to various states of the country. The Swadeshi movement is considered as a full-fledged successful movement. It was a political movement against the British. Yet this 7 years movement, 1905 to 1911 AD, had a far-reaching impact upon literature, society, education, and economy of India. Consequences of the Swadeshi movement. The Swadeshi movement left a deep and lasting impact on various aspects of Indian society. Let's look at some of its major consequences. National literature. The movement gave rise to a wave of patriotic expression. Many magazines, newspapers, books, dramas, songs, and articles were published. spreading nationalist ideas and awakening the masses. National education. A strong push for indigenous education led to the establishment of 62 secondary schools and around 3,000 national primary schools during the Swadeshi period. Participation of women. For the first time, middle-class urban women broke social barriers and actively participated in the movement, marching side by side with men. Rise of national industry. As the demand for Indian-made goods increased, many small and large industries were established. The use of imported British goods decreased significantly, paving the way for economic self-reliance. Establishment of the Muslim League. The partition of Bengal was seen as a deliberate attempt to create communal division, and in 1906, the All India Muslim League was formed, one of the direct outcomes of the political atmosphere created by the partition. Change in Congress strategy. The Indian National Congress had to take a stronger and more assertive stand against British policies. It gradually transformed into a central force in the freedom struggle, representing the voice of a united India. National literature during the Swadeshi Movement. The Swadeshi Movement sparked a powerful literary awakening that stirred patriotic feelings and supported the national struggle. Many books and magazines were published. Many plays on Swadeshi theme were written and performed. Here is a detailed list of some of them. Cultural contributions of the Swadeshi Movement. Let's look at how the Swadeshi Movement influenced Indian culture through songs, articles, and fine arts. National education. During the Swadeshi Movement, the Swadeshi Movement also brought a revolution in the field of national education. Satish Chandra Mukherjee started the Dawn Society with the full support of Rabindranath Tagore and Charudas Banerjee. This institution aimed to spread patriotism among students and strongly opposed Curzon's University Act of 1904 and the Carlisle Circular of 1905. In 1905, Rabindranath Tagore founded Banga Jatiya Vidyalaya, inspiring the rise of many other national schools. On 11th March 1906, under the leadership of Rasbihari Bose, the National Education Council, Jatiya Siksha Parisad, was formed at Town Hall, Calcutta. On 15th August 1906, the Bengal National College was established with Aurobindo Ghosh as its first principal. Later, on the 12th of December, it was upgraded to the National University. The Bengal Technical Institute was founded with financial support from Taraknath Palit, a close friend of Anunda Ramborua, Assam's first ICS officer. This institution later became Jadavpur University. Inspired by this, other national institutions like Bihar Vidyapith in Patna, Samarth Vidyalaya in Maharashtra, and Gujarat Vidyalaya in Gujarat were also established. Participation and contribution of women in the movement. The Swadeshi movement saw remarkable involvement of women, especially in Bengal, where they fearlessly stepped beyond social barriers to support the national cause. Even the Daily Telegraph of London, on the 11th of October 1907, acknowledged their boldness by writing, "The Bengal women are the most obstinate and most dangerous antagonist of the English." Sarala Devi Chodurini. She inspired youth by organizing patriotic festivals like Birastami Brat, Pratapaditya Utsav, Udayaditya Utsav, and Byayam Samiti. She trained boys and girls in wrestling and stick play, promoting strength and self-reliance. Sarala Devi also edited the magazine Bharati and helped prepare Bengal's youth for the national movement. Sister Nivedita, born in Ireland as Margaret Elizabeth Noble, 1864 to 1911, she played a major role in awakening Indian youth and women. While in Calcutta, she was actively involved with the Young Men's Hindu Union, Vivekananda Society, Dawn Society, and Anusilan Samiti. She encouraged women to participate in the national movement and become self-reliant through indigenous industries. The rise of national industry. The Swadeshi movement gave a strong boost to Indian industries, encouraging economic self-reliance. During this period, many small and medium-scale industries were established, including those for handloom, mustard oil, soap, sugar, matchboxes, and biscuits. National banks and insurance companies also began to emerge. Swadeshi Bandar, founded by Rabindranath Tagore, became a reputed textile firm. At the height of the movement, Yogesh Chudhuri and Krishna Bihari Sen established Indian stores at Bubazar, Calcutta, where all kinds of Indian-made goods were sold. Sarala Devi, from Tagore's family, started Lakshi Bandar on Cornwallis Street, while Abdul Halim Gajnabi founded the United Bengal stores at Lal Bazar. Visionary leaders like Jagadish Bose, Prafulla Roy, and Nilratan Sarkar planned to develop heavy industries in Bengal to promote self-reliance. As a result, Bangalakshi Cotton Mill was founded on 1st August 1906 by Nilratan. Sarkar Bengal Chemicals was started by Acharya Prafulla Ray on 25th July 1906. In 1907, Jamshedji Tata established India's first major iron factory. The first Indian Industrial Summit was held on 17th December 1905 at Varanasi, chaired by R.C. Totta, which awakened Indian interest in indigenous industries. Establishment of the Muslim League. Let's now understand how and why the All India Muslim League was formed during the time of the Swadeshi movement. Background. To build strong public opinion in favor of the partition of Bengal, Lord Curzon took several steps, including spreading communal propaganda. After him, Lord Minto became the Viceroy of India, and his declaration on the 13th of April 1906 indicated some special political gains for Muslim citizens. He made an official declaration of rules of administrative reform. On 1st October 1906, under the leadership of Aga Khan, a representative group of 35 members submitted a petition to Lord Minto at Simla, demanding a separate electorate for Muslims in the proposed reform. Formation. On 30th December 1906, some educated Muslim leaders attended a meeting at the Dhaka Palace, organized by Nawab Salimullah and presided over by Nawab Bikor-ul-Muluk. In this historic session, a political organization named the All India Muslim League was established. Nawab Salimullah, who led the creation of the League, also declared its aims and objectives on that very day. A. To increase the sense of loyalty of Muslims towards the British. B. To keep the British government informed about the political rights and interests of Muslims. C. To create unity among Muslims by removing feelings of fear, frustration, and insecurity. Later years, Lord Minto and Secretary of State Lord Morley encouraged the League. Muslims were granted separate electorates under the Indian Council Act, Morley-Minto Reforms, 1909. The Muslim League gradually emerged as an active political organization, opposing the Indian National Congress, claiming to represent Muslim interests. In March 1910, its head office was transferred to Lucknow. However, the League could not influence all sections of Muslim society. It remained limited to upper-class conservative Muslims, and after the repeal of the Partition of Bengal in 1911, its importance declined. After the death of Nawab Salimullah in 1915, the conservative character of the Muslim League underwent significant changes. Role of Congress in the Swadeshi movement. Let's now take a look at the important role played by the Indian National Congress in the Swadeshi movement and the fight against the Partition of Bengal. Leaders like Surendranath Banerjee, Bipin Chandra Paul, Aurobindo Ghosh, Aswini Kumar Totta, and many other intellectuals, through the Indian National Congress, were able to unite the people against the Partition of Bengal. Between 1885 and 1905, the Congress mainly focused on social and economic development. But after the Partition of Bengal, it began to rise as a major political organization, representing greater Indian nationalism. in its 19th annual session held in 1903 at Madras. Under the presidency of Lalmohan Ghosh, the Congress warned the British government to withdraw the partition plan. Before the implementation of the partition, Lala Lajpat Rai and Gopal Krishna Gokhale travelled to London on the 6th of July 1905. Representing the Congress, they submitted a petition signed by the people of Bengal to the Secretary of State for India, strongly protesting against the partition. After 6 years of the Swadeshi movement, the British government was forced to annul the partition in 1911. This victory gave a major boost to the nationalist movement and strengthened the people's desire for freedom and self-government, Swaraj. Anti-movement actions of the government. To weaken the anti-partition movement, the British government took several strategic steps. Lord Curzon tried to win over the moderate leaders of Congress by offering them titles, posts, medals, and other honours. Moderate leaders were offered positions like High Court judges, members of the British Parliament, and seats in the Viceroy's Council in exchange for support towards the partition. However, these tactics failed, and Curzon could not suppress the growing protest against the partition. The firm stand of leaders like Surendranath Banerjee and Gopal Krishna Gokhale put the government under pressure. Bipin Chandra Pal urged all leaders to reject and return the honours and titles given by the British. The first strong response came from Gopal Krishna Gokhale, who immediately returned the knighthood title conferred upon him by the British government. Contribution of the Swadeshi Movement. Let's now understand the major contributions of the Swadeshi movement in India's freedom struggle. 1. Power of mass movement. Realized. The Swadeshi movement gave Indians a clear political understanding of mass mobilization. People realized that when a majority stands together for a common cause, a movement can succeed. 2. Shift from peaceful demands to mass struggle. Earlier, the Indian National Congress believed in peaceful appeals to the British. But the Partition of Bengal changed that outlook. The Swadeshi movement showed that India's progress required mass struggle, not just petitions. 3. Economic and industrial development. Lord Curzon once arrogantly declared, "Administration and exploitation will go hand in hand." Indians responded by boycotting foreign goods, promoting local products, and starting indigenous industries. Thus, Swadeshi played a vital role in India's economic awakening. 4. Rise of nationalism and demand for Swaraj. The movement sparked a strong sense of nationalism. For the first time, in the Calcutta session of 1906, under Dadabhai Naoroji, the Indian National Congress formally proposed the demand for Swaraj, self-rule. 5. Women's participation. Women also joined the movement in large numbers. 2 key incidents triggered this. On the day Prafulla Chaki was executed, every family in Bengal fasted and mourned. No kitchens were opened. When Bhupendranath Totta, editor of Yugantar, was tortured by police, his mother Bhabaneswari Devi called upon women to rise in protest instead of weeping. Thousands answered her call. 6. Birth of armed movement. The Swadeshi movement also inspired a section of revolutionaries to adopt violent methods, giving rise to the armed nationalist movement. That brings us to the end of the chapter on the Partition of Bengal and the Swadeshi movement. I hope this one-shot video helped you grasp the key events and ideas from Chapter 1 of your Class 10 History textbook. If you found this video useful, please like, share and subscribe to stay updated with more educational content. Thank you for watching and keep learning.